I'm Rickard Norin, I'm a product manager with AVEVA. I'm here at Xchange in Cork, Ireland today, where I'm meeting with the customers and partners in UK and Ireland to discuss operations control and many other aspects of the AVEVA portfolio. So some of the trends in the HMI SCADA space are first, I would say, access to information throughout your workday. Traditionally, HMI SCADA has been locked down to a particular PC bolted onto the plant floor or a centralized control room. But I think from everyday life, we expect today to have access to information regardless of where we are, whatever device that we pick up. Another trend is, of course, expanded data models, externalized data models. How can we make HMI SCADA part of a bigger data landscape, tying in with other applications and services? So that's something we're looking at as well. And of course, increased openness to be able to integrate with industrial standards, having familiar tools and languages to develop, and familiar look and feel to the content that we produce also. So some of the key things we're doing to InTouch over the next year or two is to integrate the common visualization framework of AVEVA as the single visualization framework for InTouch, which allows us to seamlessly reach desktop, mobile, web in a pixel-perfect, consistent manner, so that you have unambiguous information and access to that information throughout the workday, regardless of which device you're using and where you're located. This is one of many paths of adopting a unified common technology across our offer, because this will also allow InTouch customers to grow into more comprehensive AVEVA solutions, such as a supervisory offer into Connect, visualization services, and other things. We're also embracing openness in several different ways. We are looking at things like Python scripting, which we recently implemented in AVEVA Edge. That is also coming to InTouch eventually. We are increasingly open also in terms of configuration management, more API driven, so that customers can, and partners of course, automate the configuration. The same configuration that you do by hand, by point clicking in the UI, you can also drive it automatically. That opens the door eventually also for AI assisted content generation and a lot of exciting stuff. We're also looking to expand on how we address external data models, whether we pull those out of a PLC or an OPC UA server, or if we're integrating with a unified namespace. We want to be able to rapidly mirror that content in HMI applications without having to painstakingly duplicate it. So we're investing in what we call an edge-driven development philosophy. Finally, we're doing a lot of modernization to the underlying frameworks also. We have to adapt to the contemporary hardware, which tends to be multi-core CPUs with slower cores instead of the hot cores of yesteryear. We want to go platform neutral, which opens the door to some very exciting deployment options and hosting options. And of course also general modernization, going 64-bit, new data types and other exciting things. So what makes InTouch unique, I think, is the longevity of the product. We have a proven track record of more than 30 years where we have brought customers forward and protected their investment. They can add value incrementally to their investments without having to re-engineer the applications. Going from, I think our first applications were on Windows 2.0 to running that on a 64-bit Windows 11 today. And we're continuing on that path, of course. Secondly, I think it's all the fantastic people that apply InTouch HMI in various industries and use cases all over the world. I think that's really one of our strengths, and especially on the local side, where working with our distributors and system integrators allows us a reach and the proximity to our customers. and of course also adding in many cases the particular domain expertise in industries that we don't know as well. As AVEVA, we're more generalists trying to cover all industries, but our partners lends us that expertise also. So the InTouch roadmap is a combination of strategic goals and custom-driven demand. From a strategic perspective, we look at industry trends and emerging technologies, how we can use those technologies to address those ever-evolving requirements. But we also listen carefully to our customers and partners, of course. It may not always seem like that on an individual level, but we do listen, and we take a lot of that with us into our products, where we try to apply those requests as generally applicable across the portfolio. So we look at emerging technologies and try to pick those which are force multipliers to address customer challenges. And some of them, if I were to single them out, let's say WebAssembly is a recent technology that allows us to deliver a consistent experience for HMI applications across desktop, web and mobile, and allows us also to have a single feature set to develop applications towards. There are other technologies, of course, that play similarly crucial roles, but it's really that pairing of a technology with the industrial challenge that we look at. So we approach Connect from two different angles. The first one is since we appreciate the fact that customers will, for a foreseeable future, most often run HMIs near the industrial edge, not necessarily in the cloud, we see a great value in taking the development, deployment and lifecycle management of those applications into the cloud. To have centralized management, support distributed workforces, SIs working out of one office where the customer site is in a different location, driving the development to the cloud with things like source control in the cloud, container deployment services in the cloud. That allows those different partners and customers to work together in a secure manner without having to open up their IT infrastructures. The second phase of this is, of course, that we leverage Connect also in terms of operational capabilities. We have Connect visualization services, which could essentially mirror your HMI on the plant floor, provide access to the same information, but in a historical capacity rather than real-time control. Obviously, we can open the door there also to control, but that's perhaps depends a little bit on the type of application and the context of the application that you're building. Some customers today prefer to move everything towards the cloud, whereas most of them still are a bit careful on when it comes to the control aspect of HMIs. So the UNS architecture has had a lot of buzz recently, and we have seen many approaches to solving that particular business challenge over the years, but I think we're starting to arrive now at technologies that allows us to manifest those UNSs in a more sensible manner, and we're looking at that from InTouch perspective as a consumer of data in a UNS. If it's a more device-driven UNS where individual sensors and the control system devices publish into a UNS, InTouch is more likely to be a consumer of that, to add context to that information, provide HMI SCADA capabilities around it. The other side of the coin is to have InTouch as a publisher to a more enterprise-oriented UNS, where InTouch can take all that field data and act like an edge gateway to add some context and additional supplementary metadata to that information as it goes higher up in the information chain. Obviously, system platform is the kind of next level type of system to drive those enterprise UNSs with with features like normalization and like unlimited scalability. But those fundamentals will also be there in InTouch, and so that we have a kind of a seamless offer there from both standalone HMIs up to line-level HMIs, and then system platform for plant-wide operations with the same capabilities, but additional values around normalization and unification of data models as you go to the system platform tier.